this is our first episode.
Yay!
But the second time we're recording it. It's the first time our mics were off. It happens.
Okay.
It happens to the best of us.
I don't remember all the information.
Great.
So,
because,
okay.
you know what? I have new information that we didn't discuss last time. Hold on.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know. I printed
extensive.
I know. I printed it in big font this time, so it's a little better. All right. Can you guess what we're going to be making? We have chocolate, marshmallows,
and graham crackers.
Classic graham. Can be only one thing.
But this is a
different take.
Reimagining of s'mores.
Yes, of s'mores. American camping classic s'mores. Perfect for now, in time for summer. The history of s'mores is it's from like the early 20th century, so the early 1900s.
That's how it works.
Yeah, I had to think about it. I was like, why is it that way? 1900s, and it started as a campfire treat. So exactly how it's still enjoyed today.
So people were camping in the early 1900s, like recreationally?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, not for like survival, but
it was like a long. What's the history of camping?
Oh, I didn't get into that. The additional information I have is about marshmallows.
Okay.
Not camping.
But what a weird pastime.
I think
but like Europeans camp
because they used to like hunt and stuff and like go out on like these.
Yes, but that was more for like survival.
I think for sport too.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Like maybe it came from there.
Yeah. And then they started bringing their families along.
Yeah,
I mean, became more wholesome.
You know how I am about camping. We go every summer
year.
Together with the
driven
kids.
by me.
I suggested the first time that mosquito place we went to, and that was terrible.
Well, I'm continuing to pressure you to do it every year.
Yeah, but this year we're going to stay.
Kids.
Yeah, it's good to be in nature for children.
We're in cabins today. Or this year.
Is camping.
Yeah,
for me. Anyway, so. S'mores. The history is actually very cute. The people who popularized s'mores are actually the Girl Scouts. And they have a s'mores flavored cookie, which I've never had. Have you ever had it?
Probably. I feel like I've had all of them. But okay, continue. I won't ask all my questions.
You can ask them.
Okay.
So in 1927, they published like a recipe book, and that's like the first published recipe of s'mores.
Oh.
Which
cute.
Is a contraction of some more, because when you make them, you're always asking for some more. And so they call it s'mores. And the key ingredients are, of course, classic grahams, marshmallows, and chocolate. Now, because we are, as we will probably mention every episode, lactose intolerant, these are made with oat milk, which I was excited to find, like at like a regular grocery store, not like a fancy like bougie specialty market. Anyway, what do you want to talk about first? Because I can't cover the history of chocolate. That's too long.
Well, the difference between we already talked about.
Oh, did you want to do Chubby Bunny? Is that what
we had big ones for the first episode? We did Chubby Bunny, which was very funny. Oh, how convenient that the audio is missing.
I actually forgot about.
We'll have
the
to insert a clip of the Chubby Bunny.
Silent Chubby Bunny. Okay, break for that right now. And now we're back.
Still play.
No, I think we should play because
because we could fit a lot in our mouths.
We're not going to use the whole bag.
Why don't we do the recipe, and while it's baking, we'll play.
Okay. I mean, we're not going to use the whole bag for.
Okay, well this is the priority.
Okay, yeah, I mean it is the priority. All right, but the first part of so the recipe we're actually making is s'mores dip. And the first part of it,
it's nice because it's like you can make it at home, so it's not just a campfire treat.
Yes, I mean we've made the dip during one of our camping trips in like a grill,
but you can make it at home.
Totally. And so to that end, we preheated the oven to 400, and now we're going to break up all our chocolate pieces and put them at the bottom of this dish. And we put some parchment paper in there, so for easy cleanup mostly. It's my favorite part, when you rip off the foil. It feels so extravagant. like Charlie and the Chocolate
Yeah, I was
Factory.
just about to say if we were gonna find a golden ticket.
Unrelated, but I saw a TikTok video about how much lactose is in different products. Guess what? Like kind of common dairy product has the most lactose.
Other than like heavy cream.
Heavy cream actually doesn't have that much.
Oh, really?
I know. I was shocked. It's mostly fat.
Oh,
which makes sense.
yeah. Butter,
Very little.
cheese,
Oh, they didn't do cheese.
cream cheese.
It might have been in the middle somewhere. It's sweetened condensed milk. It has like
Oh.
way more lactose than anything else. It's sweetened condensed milk
Well,
than
that's like
evaporated
kind of
milk.
an obscure one. I don't
think
often.
it's obscure.
How often are you using sweetened condensed milk?
I mean, not often, but it's like offered a lot at like dessert shops and stuff. But anyway,
Yeah.
all right. So we put a layer of chocolate, and I don't have the time to go through the like long and complicated history of chocolate, but there's chocolate. And then next we put a layer of marshmallows. Oops. But marshmallows, I do have, oh yeah, I do need a lot of marshmallows.
I told you.
Well, we didn't need very many of the big marshmallows, and so I thought, oh, this will be fine. But
Because you want to cover them all.
yeah,
with chocolate.
You want to cover up the layer of chocolate with a layer of marshmallows. Oh, I think that's good though. The history of marshmallows is that have you ever heard of marshmallow root? Like
marshmallow
sometimes
root?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
I've seen that.
I think in modern food science they might use it as like a stabilizer or something like that.
Or an emulsifier.
Or an emulsifier, exactly. So I've seen marshmallow root, but I did not associate them with like little marshmallows.
Yeah.
Because when you like, I know what marshmallows are made out of, and it's like sugar.
Yeah.
Here, the ingredients for this one exactly is corn syrup, sugar, and then like cornstarch and some stabilizer type stuff. So, and I think like a bougie one, if you made it from scratch, would be made with like egg whites and sugar. Anyway, like there's no marshmallow root in marshmallows. And so I just thought it was like a coincidence or something about the root looks like a marshmallow. But the original marshmallow candy was made from marshmallow root because it's like a gum.
Oh.
And so they would take
like a weird texture.
Yeah, so they would get the sap of marshmallow roots, which was used medicinally like in ancient times. And then they would mix it with like sugar and what else? And egg whites with the sap, and they'll whip it together to make marshmallow candies. And then later they realized like, oh, we can just use gelatin, which
when was this?
Like, I mean, marshmallow root has been around like since forever, but like they used it actively like in ancient Egypt to make like.
But who was eating the first marshmallow?
The first marshmallow? It was early. It was in the late 1800s.
By whom?
American manufacturers. So they took like the ancient usage of marshmallow root, which was to make like candies, and then of course commercialize them into what we know today. And one thing that they innovated on from like the classic recipe is by using corn syrup. You can extrude it. So like think about making like this paste, I guess, and then extruding it kind of like toothpaste, and then they'll snip it into these little cylinders, and then the ropes into little pieces, and those are the marshmallows we have today.
Cool.
Okay, so now we have a layer of chocolate.
And then are they
baked? After they're extruded? I think they are baked.
Oh, I think I have made marshmallows.
Like rectangular ones, because you have to cut them?
Did
you bake them?
I think so.
I think you
bake them.
Yeah, because if there's egg whites, you probably need to kill stuff. But it's like a type of meringue. Okay. But anyway, now we're going to bake this dish.
400 degrees, preheated.
Probably 5 to 10 minutes. You just keep an eye on it to see when the marshmallow's brown on top.
Okay.
I know you wanted to play Chubby Bunny during the break, but we have to talk about the history of graham crackers.
Yes.
So the history of graham crackers, I feel like whenever we research American culinary history or like these like packaged foods, you always find weird things about the original wellness influencers. I don't really know what to call them, but like in the olden days, like this guy was born in 1794 and he was active like in the early 1800s. His name is Sylvester Graham, for whom the graham crackers are named. But he was a Presbyterian minister, but had some pretty unorthodox views.
What were they?
They're pretty weird. So he's like deeply religious. But then he also really focused on like the purity of like your spirit and how that could be like purified through your diet.
I mean,
a lot of people still believe something like that. Yeah. Like he thought physical like health and well-being was a sign of like your
godliness.
Godliness, like your moral quality.
Sure.
And so he, like, to the extent he thought like physical maladies.
Oh, that's not great.
Yeah. Physical maladies and like any immoral attitudes, specifically like sexual appetites, were because of poor diet.
Right.
I mean, I'm sure some physical maladies are due to poor diet,
yeah,
but
not like things you're born with.
Yeah, exactly. So he was an unusual fellow. One of his like big things was he wanted people to practice abstinence, and also, which like, okay, but then his the one thing he did have like a good handle on is like maybe people should eat more whole grains.
Did he have a family, or was he like a monk?
You know, I don't know.
Oh, I mean, he should practice what he preaches. So
I feel like usually these people who like care so much about stuff like that,
they have other issues.
Yes. So he's
focused on whole grains though, which is
good. Good. Grains are good. And so he created like the graham flour, and that's what you make graham crackers from.
And it's like is it a less processed wheat?
Yeah.
It's like it's like slightly less refined, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So so the graham flour and the cracker that he made, it's not what we eat today.
Probably tasted terrible.
Yeah, it was like no sugar, like just very, very like dry and not tasty. The modern graham cracker was, of course, created by an American corporation. So in the 1920s, Nabisco like commercialized the graham cracker and called it Honey Maid, which is still to this day like
the graham
cracker you think of from your childhood. Now, like regular everyday people around this time had already started adding like their own twist to the graham cracker recipe, like putting in different spices like cinnamon or a little bit of sugar to make them a little more palatable. But Nabisco really commercialized this and started selling it in retail stores. And then, of course, Nabisco is now owned by Mondelez. So they own the Honey Maid brand. And then during the 1950s and 60s is when they popularized even more the use of graham crackers in cuisine, like this post-war advertising Mad Men age.
Like graham cracker crusts.
Yeah.
And probably
these recipe books.
Yeah.
And like how, because it's a graham cracker, it's like a wholesome family treat.
Anything else about the graham cracker or this guy?
No.
Very interesting.
He's a strange man.
Yeah.
But
well, our graham crackers
have no added sugar, sweetened with dates.
They're very tasty. And they're bite-sized, so they're perfect for this recipe because they're good dippers.
Yeah. It's like s'mores nachos.
Yeah. Or you can do like we've done mini s'mores like in the office snacks. With the mini ones, or cut the jumbos in half.
How's it looking?
Starting to get a little brown on the top, but the best part is that crust.
I know. So let's wait.
Let's give it.
I'll pause.
Yeah,
I'll pause it.
I think it needs like.
I can smell it. It smells good.
Yeah.
Wait.
Hannah, this is hot.
Hold on. Hold on.
Sound is working.
Yes.
Okay. Don't touch it.
I will not touch it. Yay!
So you should show it though.
Yeah. Ooh. I like how this time we let it go longer, so it's more crispy and brown on top. Because that was the best part, other than the graham crackers. All right. Ooh, yummy. All right, here we go.
Ooh. Oh, it's going to be very hot.
I know. Ooh, like that. What the beauty influencers do.
Yeah, but I don't want it to drop molten
chocolate and sugar on our hands.
Yeah, it's so hot.
It's burning. Marshmallow lava.
Mm.
This combination of like crunchy and gooey and sweet. Oh, you know what would be good? A little sea salt. Delicious. Okay. Until next time.
Bye.